What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Road Talk. And guys, today is a great day to be a One Piece fan because this chapter 1055 was just flat out great, all around 10 out of 10 chapter. It was phenomenal. Everything we saw here today on this chapter, and we about to get into it. But first, let me thank you all for taking the time out your day to watch this video. It does really mean a lot for all the love and support I got out there, all the likes, comments, anything that you guys can do for me. That is wonderful. It's great. And if you here new to the show, I'm your captain, Ro, and this is when we talk about One Piece and we talk about all the news that you need to know about this chapter. And we will definitely get a deep dive into this chapter 1055 because once again, it was phenomenal. But first, guys, let's go! So guys, I was kind of right about what was going to happen in the next chapter, and I also was kind of wrong about some other things. But one thing that I was correct about is that we was going to start talking about more about Pluton, Robin, and Oden's father. And we get to see they actually have another visitor, Law. Law did say he wanted to know more information about the Wheel of Deeds, so he's kind of a little bit neck and neck with Robin right now and trying to learn the information. And it's kind of, I don't know, maybe I read too much into this, but it kind of looked like it's starting to be a ship going on. We probably could see a roll-law, shipping going on. Robin and Law coming together, maybe. But anyways, Law is attached with all of them, and they going down into the secret basement, and they about to learn some crazy stuff because this information had me just like, I was just happy to hear this information because it was real cool of what Oda did here. So all the land that we are currently on Wano, where the festival is going on, where the fight is going on, that is actually just a small peak of Wano. Actually, Wano exists 800 years ago below all that. So they're actually high on top of the mountain right now. What happened is over the time period that when they opened the borders of Wano, they raised up these huge walls, kind of like Attack on Titan, when they built all the walls to keep the giants out, the titans out. They built those walls up to keep them safe. Same thing with Wano. Wano built these walls up to keep them safe, but it actually had another side effect as well too. With all the rain over the years and years and years coming on, that made that whole area flood. So they had nothing but water into those areas. So the Wano people at that time could not live on that, below that level. So what they did was they raised higher up until they had the land up there to live on. Kind of like just a little bit of the base of that mountain. Fuji Mountain is very huge, guys. I'm talking about, if you think about all the places, Ringo, Udon, just all the places that we have and been to since we got to Wano, that's just a small peak of it. It's more huger than what actually it is. So that was just a great thing to see how Oda just gave us that details about it. And then when Robin and Law was looking out the window, they was underneath the ground, where going down the stairs, they had this little window section that they can actually see out to old Wano, and how it was still very well in contact. It wasn't like decaying just because it wasn't real seawater. Seawater actually really decays. Anything over a period of time, it was just rainwater came down there, so it kept it fresh. And when they looked out of it, and it looked amazing. So I cannot wait till when the borders of Wano actually get open from this, and then the real people in Wano could come down there and live it up down there, and that could also help their land as well too, because their land is still completely destroyed. Maybe Green Bull did help out, but if they do open the borders of Wano, it is stated in this chapter, we have information. If they do open the borders of Wano, then Pluton will be out and about, and all the defenses of Wano will be down. So it really is kind of good that Momonosuke took the time out to think about and analyze his whole situation. I don't think he really knew that Pluton was down underneath there. I think he knew about the defensives. If they took down the borders, then the defensives of everybody could have jumped in and attacked. And just imagine Green Bull was over there when the defensives up. So just imagine if the defensives was down. Imagine how many other people would have came riding with Green Bull at that time. It just probably wouldn't have been a good scenario for those people and people of Wano at that time. It's very crazy to me just to think about what people 800 years ago had to do to protect themselves, and why they had to do these things to make these big old borders around the whole city just to keep something protected, or was it more protection? I'm debating about which one it was. Or were they trying to hide Pluton and that's why they did that, or was they trying to protect themselves from outsiders and that's why they built the borders up? And it's just very cool over the years, a period of time, that how the big waterfall to get into Wano is their defensive mechanism, and we can actually see what it is. It is cool that we getting these contents about how Oda Mind is working, and it was just that part alone was just wonderful. This chapter was amazing just to get these contents, and it was just great to see more of this Wano being flushed out, and we learn more about Wano of the past. My just two questions about this as well is, why did Oden want to open the borders of Wano? Why did he really want that to happen? Because Pluton would have been out. Why would he want Pluton to be out? Was he about to use Pluton in some type of way? And then my second question is, now that it is kind of like foreshadowing that it will be open, how do you really open the borders of Wano? Do Zou just come in and just wreck the whole entire borders of Wano and then it becomes open? Like I just really want to know, is there like a safe way to do it, or is this going to be some like crazy way to open up the borders? It's like, as soon as they do that, the Plutons are going to just come out. Like, I'm very, very curious of exactly how that will play, and will we actually see it in the next coming few chapters, because it's just so much foreshadowing around that, and it looks like that is the direction that we will be going into it. And I'm overall just jumping with joy with this, and this is a lot of excitement, and this is the stuff that One Piece fans for years have been waiting for, this talk about Pluton and all the ancient weapons, and we finally are getting very close to seeing it with our very own eyes. Another thing that we are seeing with our very own eyes is an admiral fighting right now, and that is just flat out kind of cool to always see an admiral fighting and being powerful as an admiral should be, with all his tools in his tool bags, and he's fighting against Yamato, Momonosuke, all the samurais. It's cool to see that, but I think it is very more impressive of the scene of the samurais and everybody else, and clearly Momonosuke this chapter proving that he has to start standing up for what he wants to believe in, once he has to defend in, and how he is not supposed to just always depend on others. Sometimes he got to put his own 2 cents in and get out there and get a little dirty and get his hands dirty out there in the world. And while they was fighting Green Bull, Raizo uses his fire jitsu, whatever you want to call it, and I really thought that was going to work at that time. I'm obviously thinking like fire with forest. Everybody's seen how bad a forest fire can be and how it just catches on to the next thing, and it proved itself that Green Bull is an admiral, because he even says it. How could you not think that an admiral on my level would be so caught off guard by the weakness of fire to this? I'm an admiral.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
You put some respect on my name. Like, that's what he was acting. And he showed that he is an admiral, and that didn't do nothing really to him at all. It wasn't only until that Momonosuke summoned up enough courage that they was able to do some devastating blow to an admiral. I believe Yamato could have did some work too, but Momonosuke kept her at bay, and he was like, hey, just chill out. I don't want you to do no work. I can't depend on you. I'm gonna handle this on my own, and then he uses one of Kaido's like dragon breaths, whatever you want to call it, dragon blast attacks, and that did hurt Green Bull very badly. And that was when that Green Bull decided to gear things up in a way, and he was about to start going a little bit more extreme just so he can get to Luffy, because clearly that's what his end game goal was. He was just trying to push them aside, like, hey, I'm not really here for you. I really want to go for Luffy, so just move aside. But after he got hit with that blast, and that blast was kind of it was kind of broken. Like Momonosuke with that attack, it was very cool to see, and he's just starting to learn how to use it. It's still out of control, and just imagine a couple more years later, a little bit more training, how more powerful that attack will be. But just as Green Bull was going to gear things up and go after and really start doing some damage to Momonosuke and the samurais. Some of the samurais was already hurt. We had Raizo getting his life sucked out of him. But we did already see some of them was already getting attacked and being restrained. And he was about to go even extremer now just to push them aside so he can get to his destination of Luffy. But then that guy, red hair, showed the most powerful haki usage that is kind of up there with a lot of people, including Luffy too. Most people are sleeping right now. They have like, I haven't seen this, but we kind of did get a little sneak peek of this power from Luffy already. But anyways, red hair Shanks, I don't know how. Maybe his observation haki is out of this world. Maybe Katakura can see into the future. Maybe Shanks can hear like super far distance and able to use his voice to communicate, because he has like, I don't know, some like telepathy, and is actually talking to Green Bull, being all the way down on his ship and using his haki to scare the mess out of Green Bull. As Green Bull was about to attack Momonosuke, Shanks used his haki, and his haki reached all the way up there. I'm talking about miles and miles and miles away, and Shanks went off on him. It was like, hey, don't you think this is kind of a little bit of basically weak for you to do this when somebody is down right now? They just now trying to recover. You really going to attack them? How strong are you to do that to a weaker person? Well, I want you to wait till them to get stronger and then be able to go attack them. Are you that scared of the new era that's coming? So that's why Shanks was really there. I believe Shanks was there the whole time just for protection, making sure Luffy did everything that he had to be and being okay. He was just out there coasting, like, hey, I'm gonna be out there protecting my little guy and making sure he's okay. But Shanks and then he put the sword in the air too. Like, just imagine, Green Bull is super far away from Shanks, and just alone his haki scared the man. Like, just imagine what would happen if Green Bull decided just to go continue this attack. How long would it be for Shanks to make his way all the way up there, go ahead and find Green Bull? Like, Shanks has to have some crazy power, guys. Like, he has to have some crazy power just to be able to just to put the scare of death into his opponent's like mind. Like, it was just crazy to see Shanks did this. Shanks was so mad that when he using his haki, he was knocking out his own like crewmates. They was foaming out the mouth because if you are weaker than that haki, you know, you start to faint. And that was just, guys, I really can't wait to see Shanks do more of this haki things. And also, don't forget, guys, Luffy also did similar things when he was fighting Kaido when he first became Joy Boy. His haki went all the way down on Onishigima. Don't forget, Onishigima is not a small island. Okay, if you look at other YouTubers or if you look at people on Twitter, they give you how big of a world Onishigima is. It says it's supposed to be like 10 football fields or something like that. So just imagine how long or that has to be. Or it was supposed to be like 10 staple centers or crypto centers. That how big Onishigima is. And just imagine Luffy did that exact same thing. He scared everybody that was on Onishigima with his haki, had everybody down there foaming at the mouth, fainting, and also putting a scare into some of his opponents. So just imagine, like, Luffy has shown that, Shanks has shown that, just imagine if they could collide. That's just they said the sky split, man. The whole world's gonna split if Luffy and Shanks collide. But also, I think my favorite part of this chapter is when Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei was posted up. They were just sitting on top of the cliff, just looking at Momonosuke and the samurais and Yamato just sitting back, just looking at them, seeing them. They was able to fight off Green Bull, and they were just sitting. They was posing like they was some goons. They wasn't worried about it whatsoever, and that was just so cool. Even Sanji, probably the weaker one out of them, or I won't even say weaker. I can't start putting some respect on Sanji's name. Sanji, probably one of the commanders at that point. He is saying that, hey, oh man, we don't get to fight him. Sanji was ready to fight against that admiral, and Sanji, we can rank him. He's not the strongest, but he is strong, and he wanted to have some smoke with an admiral. He also did have Jinbei or Zoro saying that was not bad for Momonosuke to show that Dragon Blast, so that's even hyping up Momonosuke a little bit better. And it looks like Jinbei is asking that was some monstrous haki being thrown around. They don't know who was throwing that haki around. Only one person had an idea, and that was Luffy. And Luffy was doing his lab, his lab that is going on now. And he said, Luffy was like, it made me think of a familiar face. And that was the end of the chapter of that. But that was my favorite part, just seeing those four guys just hanging out on the cliff. They wasn't really worried, and if Green Bull did reach them, they was gonna take care of them. Luffy was eating food while watching the fight. He was just chilling, and it was just a cool pick just to see them out there doing their thing. And I got a last question and I'm gonna let you guys go. Green Bull was putting his hands in the air after he felt Shanks' haki. He was scared and terrified. He's an admiral, and he left off after that moment, after Shanks just uses the Conqueror's haki. And then we got the second thing, that Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei was all just chilling and relaxing. They wasn't scared at all about their comrades' lives going against an admiral. They was just sitting back and chilling and having a good time. And that was the admiral. So what do you really think about Green Bull after all this? Yes, he has, looks like he did defeat King and Queen, but that could have been the exact same thing about they was weak at that moment and didn't have enough strength to actually fully fight back against an admiral. You know what I'm saying? That's why Shanks was there to just be on the side of Luffy, even though Luffy clearly looks like he doesn't need Shanks to be around and protecting him. But if Shanks was there to protect King and Queen, that stuff would never have happened, and the King and Queen would have got healthy. They would have been able to put a better fight against an admiral in my eyes. That's how I'm seeing it. And just how strong do you think a Green Bull admiral is? And it's kind of clearly evident now that Yonkos are more stronger than admirals. So please comment down below on what you think of Green Bull at this very moment. Do you think he is stronger than probably some Yonkos, or do you think he a first commander level, or where do you rank Green Bull at this moment? And before, I know I said that once, but I will say it one more time, that last day, for real, last day, when Momonosuke used his Dragon Blast to hurt a Logia Devil Fruit user, as in Green Bull with the Forest Fruit. Do you think that attack was haki? Because I thought clearly you had to have some type of form of haki to actually hurt a Logia double type, unless you have another Logia ability that can negate that Logia Devil Fruit use. So if you do have a Fire Devil Fruit, you can have a Wind Devil Fruit that will negate that fire, or probably make it bigger or lesser. All depends on what type of science that you have going on. But I thought that's what the whole thing was. But when Momonosuke decided to use his dragon breath. That was just a big dragon blast, and that it actually really did hurt him. So I'm wondering if that was infused with some type of hockey. But guys, that was it. This chapter was a 10 out of 10 once again. It was a phenomenal chapter. These last 2 chapters have been great. I now have loved them, and I cannot wait for next week. We don't get a break next week. We go right back into it. So it is coming now, guys. We get a lot of stuff going on. Who knows? We might just see Pluton next chapter. We might see some crazy stuff, and it looks like Kid and Luffy are not fighting no more. They are chilling. Kid is clearly not in the picture. Luffy is clearly not fighting Kid. So I don't know what's going to happen next. It just looks like it's going to be a great time with these next chapters. And again, One Piece is officially in with the last arc going on right now. So everything is going to be great from here on. And now I can't see us having a small little chapter that doesn't really have a great value to it. So I'm happy to be a fan of One Piece right now. It's been great. It's been great talking to you guys. For last time, once again, I appreciate all the time, all the love you spend on here watching my videos. It does really mean a lot. Until the next time, my friends, my Nakama, my family, my wifey, love you. See you guys next time. Peace.